Viewers, Times Now has been peeling away the blanket of lies that coats Pakistan's responses to India's Balakot airstrike one by one. Last week, Times Now became the first channel to bring to you the satellite images of the Jaish Terror Training Command Center after it had been struck by Indian mirages. We showed you the pictures of the structures that were badly damaged. There you can see them, all of those pictures right there before your eyes. We also, viewers, brought you the first confirmation from the Balakot terror training facility that the camp had been struck. Now today, viewers, for the first time, we can confirm that India's intelligence agencies are now able to assess who and how many could have been eliminated in the punishing airstrike by the Indian Air Force on February 26. That's right. Times Now has learned that the Indian intelligence agencies had tracked 263 Jaish terrorists assembling at the camps in the days leading up to the February 26 airstrike. Yes, viewers, in the days leading up to the airstrike, these 263 terrorists had been almost to the man identified. Top intelligence sources have also revealed that the top echelons of the Jaish-e-Mohammed was observed assembling at the terror training facility from as early as February 19th. Now you will remember that the airstrikes took place on February 26th in the wee hours. But these individuals, these 263 Jaish terrorists, had started assembling as early as February 19th. Why? Why were they there almost a week before? Well, this is because the Jaish was conducting several terror training courses beginning February 25th. Now, here are some details, viewers, that were shared with us. 91. Pay attention to the numbers. 91 terrorists assembled for the Daura-e-Khas, which was advanced level training course. 83 terrorists assembled for the Daura-e-Aam, which is the base level training course. 30 terrorists assembled for the Daura-e-Mutalla, which is for those experienced terrorists who needed to be given greater training. 25 selected for Fidayeen special training were also present in the camp. 18 senior trainers were there to radicalize these youth, to work with them almost on an individual basis, so that the Fidayeens would be prepared to conduct more attacks like the ones or like the one that took place in Pulwama. 18 to 20 working staff, including cooks and barbers and cleaners, were also present in this camp when the strike took place. Now, for the first time, viewers, we can tell you the names of the 9 of the 18 senior trainers who were veterans of the Afghan wars against the United States and are now thought to be missing after the Balakot airstrikes. These are described as hardcore Jaish top commanders who are tasked with upholding the dastardly terror legacy of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And for the first time, viewers, their names coming out in public. These 9 out of the 18 are Mufti Umar, Maulana Javed, Maulana Aslam, Maulana Ajmal, Maulana Zubair, Maulana Abdul Ghaffur Kashmiri, Maulana Qudratullah, Maulana Qasim, Maulana Junaid. All these 9, viewers, all these 9 were very senior terrorists who doubled up as teachers and trainers. They were veterans of the Afghan conflict. But despite the kill list and the mounting evidence that points to the magnitude of the success of the Balakot strike, there are those in the Congress and other political parties who suggest that not even one Jaish terrorist was killed. Listen to Haribau of the Congress party, a member from Maharashtra, who came out and made the strangest remark. He came out, viewers, and said that as far as he's concerned, nobody, not even a kida or an insect, died. That's right. This Congress leader mocked the forces, viewers, mocked the forces, mocked the bravery of the forces. Listen to this.
आपने हमला कर दिया पाकिस्तान पे 350 लोग मर गए जिथे चीड़ी चीड़ी कायम तो कीड़ी ये मूंगी सुधा मेली नहीं मूंगी सुधा.
The comment has infuriated the Bharatiya Janata Party. Smriti Irani has tweeted asking whether the Congress was in denial about Balakot because their President Rahul Gandhi holds the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar in high regard. And to support her claim, she has released a video. Listen to this. This dates back a few years when Rahul Gandhi was referring to Maulana Masood Azhar by suffixing a honorific to his name. Listen to this.
तो एयरक्राफ्ट में मसूद अजहर जी के साथ बैठ तो एयरक्राफ्ट में मसूद अजहर जी के साथ बैठ तो एयरक्राफ्ट में मसूद अजहर जी के साथ बैठ.
Well, there you go. This, the BJP says, is the reason why the Congress is soft on dealing and tackling terror. And that is one of the reasons why they are in denial, because they actually edify the likes of the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, Masood Azhar, and because of that, they can't bring themselves to acknowledge that they today are in pain. Now, if Congress members continue to question the effectiveness of the airstrike, then the Samajwadi Party's Azam Khan has gone even a step further with his Khoon Ka Sauda remark. Listen to this, viewers. This really plumbs the depths.
पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स के नाम पर वोट मांगे जा रहे हैं, यानी फौजियों की जिंदगियों पर वोट गिने जा रहे हैं, बक्से भरे जा रहे हैं. ये पहली बार हो रहा है कि सरहदों का भी सौदा हो गया, वर्दियों का सौदा हो गया, सरों का सौदा हो गया, खून का सौदा हो गया. इस पर सरकारें नहीं बनना चाहिए. इस पर सरकारें बने, लेकिन चुनाव की रणनीति नहीं तय होना चाहिए.
Well, you heard Rahul Gandhi there using an honorific to describe a terrorist. His political party, viewers, questions the strikes. The question is why? The question really is about misplaced loyalties, if at all. Let's throw this open. Let's ask the most basic question. And I want to begin first with Nishant Verma. Nishant Verma, there seems to be a pattern here. Kapil Sibal, Digvijay Singh, Manish Tiwari, all questioning the bona fides of this strike. For some of them, the army is a gunda, rogue element in Jammu and Kashmir, while Masood Azhar is a big G.
Two things.
What is going on in the Congress party? Why this misplaced sense of sympathy? Are you basically empowering, emboldening Pakistan? Are you giving them an opportunity to spread malicious propaganda across the country and the world at large?
Two things, and I may be allowed 60 seconds. I hate to say this, that this entire narrative and story that is coming out about the attack, the surgical, the airstrike, and what has, you know, kind of those holes being shown in the photographs is all cooked up. Colonel R.S.N. Singh is sitting on the panel. I'm sure he has served in the forces.
Which narrative is cooked
the
up?
reason
Just
being,
explain
this
yourself.
is I'm explaining.
No, one second.
Your
What is cooked up?
Here,
the fact that 263 terrorists were tracked?
I said, allow me 60
no,
seconds,
just one
then ask me question. Now,
okay, but explain what you
I
mean.
am explaining.
When you say cooked up, what do you mean?
Every one of us debating here has gone to the hilly sides of Himalayas. The kind of photos even that you are showing on the screen right now, look at the rooftops. They are not cement concrete rooftops. Any damn 100 kg bomb also goes inside and explodes. Uske par khache uda dega like splinters. What kind? Look at the photographs yourself that you are projecting there. How can pinholes be shown as if, you know, the 6 payloads of 200 kg have gone?
Look,
so first of all, that is incorrect, and it does not mean disrespecting our forces. It means that the kind of narrative being created by several media by showing these photographs which are not authentic, not told by the government of India, I completely say is a wrong narrative. This is number one. Number two, about Masood Azhar ji. You know, again the same small clip that Smriti Irani ji has displayed is like, idhar se aloo dalo, udhar se sona niklega. It was a mazak on Narendra Modi in that time, and even this one,
can I ask you a
Mr.
counter
Rahul
question?
Gandhi has clearly said that plane mein le gaye Masood Azhar ji. Replay and see. He is talking about kaun le gaya. Kaun le. He is sarcastic. He is being sarcastic towards BJP, not Mr. Modi.
Why is Congress not saying?
One second, please,
it has got nothing to do. Why
please,
Congress will say whatever they say. I am not a Congress person.
No, please,
you
don't
are not
start
a BJP person.
Okay, 1 second.
Let's be on a parallel.
Okay, Nishant Verma.
What we have heard
Nishant
is
Verma.
plane
One
mein
minute.
leke gaye.
Okay, can you please? Nishant Verma, look, it's very important here, number one, to first break down a few facts. And I want to bring in Srinjoy Chaudhary, National Affairs Editor of Times Now, is going to be joining this in just a few moments. Now, all of us here in Times Now, especially the top editors, have seen, sir, perhaps what you have not seen, which is evidence. And that evidence, sir, has been made available for us to examine.
From the government?
One second.
And the government does not have the guts to show it to the
Mr.
public?
Nishant Verma, 1 second, please.
I mean, what are you talking, sir?
Can you 1 second? Can you just allow me to speak? Look,
all yours.
I allowed you to speak. Give me 2 minutes. There is always an apprehension that people might mislead you. There's always an apprehension that the narrative might actually be serving a political cause. So, as a journalist, one seeks access to examine facts. And once you believe that there are more than 1 or 2 or 3 important, very importantly,
So
very
Ministry of
important.
Defense
One
gave
second,
you
one
the
second. Nishant,
things
one
to
second.
examine.
1 second, 1 second. You know, please. I am being absolutely honest here. I am not hiding anything. I am saying this in national interest because there have been political parties in this country that have suggested that nothing was hit. Now, the same political parties don't want the government to put out any of the evidence. Why? Because when the government does that, and when it did so in the past, they said, look, you're politicizing terror. That you are now, by putting out this evidence, behaving irresponsibly. I just want our viewers to remember what was said after the Uri surgical strikes. The government came out through a military officer to give the facts. The opposition once again demanded proof. When the proof was put out, the same opposition said, see, you're being irresponsible, you're bragging, and Pakistan is going to feel slighted and they're going to retaliate. So, you can't have it both ways, number one. Number two, sir, let alone Nishant Verma, even the foreign media has not been able to go inside this particular facility. They have only been able to see it from 100 and 150 meters away. It's a hell of a distance. No one actually knows what those structures are made of. Your educated guesses by looking at the guardhouse, sir, smacks of, I'm sorry to say this, a slight amount of idiocy.
Not at all.
No,
because
please.
there's a possibility
Please.
that
There are
people
no
must have gone.
sir.
People must have gone for honeymoons in such hilly areas.
You see, please.
I have lived for 2 years in such hilly areas, not in Pakistan but in India. So I know the same terrain.
Sir,
what kind of houses these are?
You see,
Colonel Singh has served there. He knows it.
You're not sounding reasonable.
It's not.
Okay,
I will not sound reasonable.
You're not sounding reasonable. You have not been to this Balakot facility. Even the international media. One second.
I can go to Pulwama. Pulwama में ऐसे ही घर होते हैं. Pulwama and Balakot are same.
Nishant Verma, look, either I spend the next 20 minutes, right, confronting and trying to sort of coax you into believing.
Tell the truth to the country.
And reversing your idiocy on this stage. Or I move forward and ask the more germane questions. Why is there this misplaced sympathy, Mr. Let me ask you, sir, Ashutosh Mishra ji, in the Congress party, why are they so convinced that nothing has happened? What is driving the Congress party? Is it their hate for Modi? Is it their absolute strident belief that the BJP might get credit in an election year for taking a bold step? What is it that is wanting, pushing, determining a line which basically is empowering Pakistan? I can't understand. Explain.
So I don't know about Congress, but there is a question which begs an answer.
Okay.
If we can have such deep and specific intelligence about Pakistan, what were we doing in Jammu and Kashmir? Why didn't we have that intelligence?
Sir,
all we needed to know was one name, Adil Ahmad Dar.
Excuse
and
me.
44 Jawans would have survived.
Excuse me.
They wouldn't
are
have
you
been
trying
killed.
to say that the Prime Minister deliberately had 40 Jawans killed? No, what are you trying to say?
The
that people don't do their
jobs? The Prime Minister
that people don't care about the forces?
the wounds of the bereaved families by trying to claim credit.
A suicide bomber, sir, on a suicide mission is very difficult to stop. It is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
In Jammu and
See,
Kashmir?
Ashutosh ji,
you have
not served
names here. You
have not served.
One second. People who are being questioned.
So why are you questioning?
The BJP and Mr. Modi.
No, I'm asking you a specific question. Ashutosh Mishra
has said that when
Ashutosh Mishra, what has that got to do with questioning the Balakot strikes?
Nobody's
Fine.
questioning the Balakot
Pulwama
strike.
was the biggest intelligence failure.
I
personally have written. No, 1 second, please. I have personally. 1 second, Mr. Ashutosh Mishra. I have personally written. Excuse me.
They are leaking
Ashutosh Mishra. 1 minute. Ashutosh Mishra. Ashutosh Mishra. I have personally written about the Intel failure. You can go check my article. But what has that got to do with suggesting, 1 second, so that Balakot did not even happen?
Who suggested that? Who is saying that?
Should I read out? Should I read out to you? Should I play out the sound bites?
That's
okay.
not the Congress
Manish
party
Tiwari comes out and says,
opposition party
okay, 1 minute. Ashutosh, 1 minute. 1 second. Let's play out all those sound bites one by one. First, it was Mr. Kapil Sibal, the most knowledgeable of all Congress spokespersons, who said, is the international media lying? There has been no strike in Balakot. Then came out Manish Tiwari. Does Reuters have a vested interest in undermining NDA BJP government, or is this the truth? What is the truth that they were referring to? That Reuters put out a report. Some foreign news agency who's peddling news puts out a report that Balakot was a failure. The Congress party jumps to accept it as the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Digvijay Singh, satellite images show madrasa building still standing at the scene of India strikes. Modi ji's international media reporting no proof of militant losses at Balakot pro-Pakistan, says Kapil Sibal. Revenge was supposed to be taken from terrorists, not trees and mountains, says Navjot Singh Sidhu, echoing what the Pakistanis said. Were the bombs actually dropped? Was it dropped on the target? Mamta Banerjee asks. And today, of course, you've just heard the latest from the Congress.
And is
any
name there of Rahul Gandhi?
Let me bring in the BJP. Let me bring in the BJP. Sir, are you deluded? I'm telling you the names are here. I'm telling you their quotes. Let me play them out. Let's play out the bites. Nizam bhai,
let's be very clear.
Let's play out the bites. Ashutosh Mishra, I think, has borrowed Nirav Modi's ostrich-lined jacket and worn it over his head, so he can't actually see anything.
The ostrich and blanket views are that of Modi supporters who refuse to see that he is trying to
let's play it out. First, let's play out what MLC,
in the
what MLC has said.
All the martyred families, families of the martyrs.
चिढ़ नहीं लगनी चाहिए.
ना मुझे
पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट मरे हैं.
मैं तो सबसे प्यार
हमारे खानदानों में से कोई नहीं मरा.
नहीं वो हमारे देश के बच्चे थे. वो हमारे देश के बच्चे थे.
In sophisticated language, खून का सौदा. He's just said that.
Okay,
in sophisticated language.
I don't want to, in any way legitimize what he's saying by a response. But let's just play out some of the responses. Here is the Congress MLC. Let's play it out first.
पे हमला कर दिया पाकिस्तान पे 350 लोग मर गए जिते चीड़ी कायम तो कीड़ी ये मूंगी सुधा मेली नहीं मूंगी सुधा.
Okay, that was Haribau of the Congress party. G.V. Narasimha Rao, I want to ask you today, these individuals who are sympathetic to the Congress say that you are using this particular terror strike to win an election. You need to respond to this charge.
Rahul, you see, in the aftermath of the strikes, we have seen most political parties supporting this entire development. So it was not, it could not have become a political issue if everyone celebrated the victory by our forces. But you have the Congress leaders wanting to, you see, we have struck at the terror hideouts in Pakistan, and the parties in India, the Indian National Congress, the SP, BSP, Mamata Banerjee, they all felt the real tremors of that strike in India. I think they seem to have met with that accident rather than the terrorists in Pakistan. I think when Sena has, when armed forces have achieved such success, what prevented them from simply hailing it? What made them question the valor of the forces? Why did they question the very surgical strike this time and in the last time? Did we ask them to call the Sena chief, the army chief, a street thug? Is the Twitter handle of Sidhu, is it handled by the BJP?
Narasimha Rao,
does Kapil Sibal and
Narasimha Rao, when you talk of Balakot,
so they made it
you
political.
have to go to the roots.
They politicized
and the roots were Pulwama.
And here,
and in Pulwama, the man
on the
called Adil Ahmed
I think they seem to have
was the third terrorist who was taken by army alive in 2017.
You don't need Peer Zada
Tell me
anymore.
why did you release him? Tell me why did you release him?
Indian Peer Zadas on your TV.
Tell the country, Mr. Narasimha Rao, why did you release Adil Ahmed Dar, the man who murdered my 40 plus soldiers in 2017, who was caught alive?
Can I answer that question? Because it was people like you who wanted the Mufti government to release all these detainees.
So you
one minute. Let me answer your question. Let me answer your question.
In front of
Sir, let me 1 second. Let me answer your question. No, let me answer the question. Because the Mufti government.
BJP answer,
one second. Let me answer. Don't worry. Relax. Nishant Verma, don't shout. Please. I'm tired of you shouting into my ear. Please. Have some respect. Please. You can sit on my lap and also shout. But please don't do it. But don't do it. Please don't do it.
People sitting in the government lap to get out. Why? Because Mr. Narasimha Rao is not responding. Why did he let go Adil Ahmed Dar, the third terrorist caught in Zainpura?
Can you please, where was this consternation from the Congress party when almost 30,000 stone pelters, their cases were rescinded? Where was this consternation from Congress party and their sympathizers when several young people detained under PSA in Kashmir were released? And I don't know if you know this, Mr. Verma, but PSA detainees, when they are released, the BJP did not need to know. The government at the center did not. Please, 1 second. Don't jump and shout me down, please. I'm not addressing you. I'm only putting the facts. The facts are that the Home Minister was the Chief Minister of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And with one stroke of her pen, she rescinded a large number of cases. And she also ensured that a large number of cases which could have been filed by the forces were not filed. Standing instructions were given. The BJP could only have realized this after a year. Let me tell you, and I speak with authority because in the next few days, we are accessing documents which will show you how the PSA cases have fallen in the Kashmir Valley in the last 1.5 years of the BJP Mufti government. So, there is a reason why individuals were back on the street. No. Because it was insaniyat.
No, sir.
One second, don't shout me down. These are facts. Now you can contest the fact.
Adil Ahmed Dar was not a stone pelter.
With foolish rhetoric.
Adil Ahmed Dar was the third man terrorist in Zainpura, where army killed 2 of them inside the house.
Me,
and Adil Ahmed Dar was the third who was found with ammunition. I would like BJP to answer why BJP is not answering that.
When these situations are unfolding, many people say that there are innocents in these houses, they are human shields, and therefore you have a situation like this. Colonel RSN, why don't you explain to the likes of Mr. Verma and Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, why don't you explain to them, sir, that their sympathies today are misplaced?
Our sympathies are with India. Please
I
don't try to twist
I can see that. That's why your bites are playing out on Pakistani news channels, sir.
That's
providing Pakistan the alibi, the cover.
Dividing Indians is a Pakistani strategy.
And why are you doing this? Because you are so scared of losing an election. You are so scared of losing an election. That same fear made you. Okay, stop shouting. Stop shouting, sir. That same fear.
Excuse me. And that's what's happening today.
Excuse me. That same fear paralyzed the UPA government when it was in power. They couldn't even bring themselves to respond after 26/11. Okay, yes, Colonel RSN. Colonel RSN, go ahead. Colonel RSN.
Now look, I was watching the proceedings of the National Assembly of Pakistan, where the railway minister categorically said कि अजहर साहब का मदरसा जो है उसका कुछ नहीं बचा है. Now you know, apart from that fact that they are ruling, Imran's party is ruling the country, they have been ruling Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for very long, right? And I was also watching that nobody protested in the National Assembly. So somebody in Pakistan
let him speak. Did he interrupt you, sir? Did he interrupt you? Let him speak. Okay, let him speak, sir.
कर्नल साहब को इंडिया की बात करनी चाहिए. ये डेविड हेडली को मानते हैं.
Will you not let him speak?
Is this? एक minute.
I mean, sir.
Will you not let him speak?
And somebody resonates here with Azhar ji. Now this is the exact nature of proxy war in India. You have seen the face of the perpetrator of proxy war, and you have seen the proxies in India. And editor sir, let me tell you, it's not a small constituency. If somebody says that there are only handful of people, no sir, I don't agree. This constituency has grown over the years, and it will take some years to purge India. They are everywhere.
What we are saying here is that people are getting out of their olives and into governments. That's exactly what we are saying.
They are
Ashutosh, as a journalist who understands Hindi language, both Nishant and you understand Hindi language, I just want to ask you that when do you use the honorific title of G? You use it for somebody who deserves respect? Would I say Prabhakaran ji?
No Indian will ever call a terrorist by an honorific. No Indian will ever call. Will you ever call Bhindranwala ji? Would you ever call Prabhakaran ji? Would you ever call the killers of
one second, sir.
No,
the question is to me.
Killer of Mahatma Gandhi, Godse ji. Will you? I'm asking you. Will you?
Nishant, the question is to me. I respect even the sacrifice of Rajiv Gandhi's grandmother and father. And therefore, I know the pain he will go through if I say Prabhakaran ji. Today, has he considered the pain of the people who have got martyred in Pulwama? Today, has he considered the pain of those who were killed in the parliament attack? Sir, you are trying to justify it by doing verbal yoga and saying it's a tongue.
It's not very old. It's not very old, sir. It's not very old. It's only a few days old, sir.
शहजाद साहब ने हिंदी में कहा शहजाद साहब आपने हिंदी में कहा कि किसी को जी बोल
सर,
सकते हैं कि नहीं। मैं
जी
आपको पूछता हूं
आपको
कि
बर्बाद
आप
कर
जी
दिया है।
नहीं, आप तो कितने प्यार से उनको डबल जी
ठीक है, आप
जहाज
ऐसे
में
करिए
लेके कांधार गए।
सर,
वो
आपके लिए
कौन सी रिस्पेक्ट
आपके लिए
बताइए?
आपके लिए
आर्मी चीफ सड़क का
कौन-
गुंडा
आप वही
हाफिज
लौट
सईद
के
और
पहुंच जाते
ये
हो।
मसूद अजहर सोना
Okay.
मुंडा,
आप
ये
जगह
आपकी
पहुंच
हकीकत
जाते
है।
हो।
We're taking a
ये
short
आपके
break.
सोना मुंडा है।
आपके राजनीति को सूट करता होगा।
Okay.
नेपाल सिंह की क्यों नहीं
Okay,
बात
Mr.
करते? जो बीजेपी का एमपी बोलता है
Mr.
ये
निशांत
फौज
वर्मा।
आतंकवादी को जी
मरने
बोला,
के लिए भर्ती
किसी ने
होता है।
आतंकवादी को जी बोला।
1 second.
आपने
Let me
आतंकवादी को
bring
जी
it.
बोला,
1
आप
minute.
आतंकवादियों के साथ खड़े हो, और बाजवा को गले लगाते
ये
हो।
कर्नल सिंह साहब से
बाजवा
पूछे
को गले
कि
लगाते हो।
अजीत डोभाल
Okay,
कैसे
okay,
लेके
okay,
गए?
okay,
okay,
आप तो
one
जी
second.
शब्द पे अटक गए।
One
वो तो
second.
इतनी इज्जत
इमरान खान
लेके गए।
फरिश्ता।
1 second, 1 second,
नरसिम्हा राव
1 second, a
जी
quick break.
तो जवाब भी नहीं देना
A quick
चाहते।
break, a quick break. Viewers, a lot has been made of a decision in 1999 to free Masood Azhar. Let me tell you, I covered IC 814 for the Times of India. And I remember very clearly there was a lot of pressure on the government put by the relatives to free the terrorists. And after an all-party meeting in which it was unanimously decided that the terrorists will be released. In fact, the Taliban were demanding a larger number of terrorists. It took very, very, very long, almost a week to whittle it down to just 3. And it had the blessings of the opposition parties.
And Al-Qaeda.
It was a absolutely
And Al-Qaeda.
consensus decision taken. So let's not fall for that trap. A large number of you will remember, sir, viewers, and many of you will remember those days. It was a life and death situation. We're taking a short break. I'm returning to another big story.